Alright, welcome to another week of MMO Concept Art. I am here with Sergio and Nick and Richard and Steve or Wolf. I am also Steve, your instructor, and we're going to hop to Sergio or Swergio or Serge EO. You're going to end up with a lot of names, Sergio. And I largely blame me. But we're going to hop over to Sergio and have a look at the work he is doing with our lobby. Or
The lobby is looking
with
awesome, dude.
something entirely different.
Yeah, sorry, I was just scanning this
Phrase.
this dude, you know.
And now for something completely different.
Yay for Monty Python. Ooh, that's really come along since I last saw it.
Sweet. Holy smokes.
Yeah.
There wasn't really any of this stuff here last time I looked at it.
Maybe. That's the size of the character. What I wasn't entirely sure about was what?
Just nothing. Keep going.
Wolf.
Keep going.
What?
It's just an unfortunate angle. Keep going.
Oh,
In the viewport. But thank you for pointing that out.
I wasn't
He made me.
I wasn't entirely sure about this kind of floor. Maybe if I just reduce a bit the spacing in between, it will be better.
Well, maybe if it was something that, if it was more faded or something. There's a lot of contrast there. I don't know. Not sure.
You know, mostly
Is that all
because
just texture?
in this space, yeah,
Like it looks a little busy to me. Even though it's a cool design.
you know, but
Maybe if they were bigger.
keep in mind, you will see, like, I don't know, the actual
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be
distance
about like
from the
that.
player, but
Yeah.
You'd be pretty
You're
close
right.
there.
Yeah.
but yeah, no, mostly
Is that
my
transparent?
issue is what?
Is there opacity on that texture?
Yeah. It has an opacity map.
Which part's the transparent part? The circle or the stuff around it? It's hard for me to tell.
The circle.
The circles are?
Simple.
Okay.
It looks like it's the circle and the little spikes that come out of it.
Yeah, but I mean not the
Yeah.
negative space.
Right.
There you have it.
Oh, there you go. Okay. Alright. Very nice. Dang, man, that's a lot of work.
Yeah. Mostly because I want for people to be able to see down.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was thinking it like this. In this area, you could have different shops or that kind of different NPCs and all of that. And in the upper area, I don't exactly know yet what I'm doing here, but it's kind of an offering table.
Uh-huh. An offering table.
Yeah. You can get down or go to the rooms that are connected. I still need to put some kind of guide here, mostly so the break in the texture won't be so hard. Um, but the idea is in the different rooms I want to. I haven't designed it yet. I haven't sketched anything, but to put some kind of crafting station, even if it's not operational, just to have the
just
option.
aesthetically, yeah.
Besides it's pretty big room, so
What kind of
uh,
station?
Crafting.
Oh, crafting.
Yep.
Okay.
Dude, that is a huge amount of work.
yeah, the chains you saw are whoa, hang on, are here. It's just 4 chains, but it's not that big. I mean, it's not big at all, the poly count, so don't see this because this is the total and it's for everything, and I still have high poly things in here.
Yeah. No, you said earlier you hadn't worked on the low poly yet. But are those blue rocks? Are those meant to be like
Yeah.
floating and rotating, or what's the idea there?
Yep. Yeah, the idea is to have them rotating. There
Are they all grouped?
they are grouped in different sizes, so you could have different rotation
Cool.
or mostly different speed in the rotation, so it will sell the effect.
Yep.
And the idea is to have them in a blue color and some kind of light like that in the center of the room, because in these pits over here I actually want to put some kind of plane and make it lava.
Oh, okay.
So you will have in from.
I think that's awesome.
That way you will have the contrast between warm colors coming from the sides, and the center will be cold.
Yep, very cool. Yeah, we can do some kind
Yeah,
of
these are actually.
some kind of emissive map for the stones, and you can also throw a few rotating lights in there that are invisible that would be very low cost in use.
Yeah,
Oh yeah. That's awesome work, dude.
What are the greenery is
Yeah.
about? Is that
yeah, those are actually proxies. It's not how it's going to be. I haven't got around to make the plans, but the idea is
You
to
just
have.
yank those out of Max.
okay? There's going to be some kind of plant,
Yeah.
maybe mushroom type thing or something. 'Cause it's indoors, yeah.
Yeah,
Or is
I want to have different types of plants in here. Yeah. This is all like a cave.
Uh-huh.
You could. I mean, it's indoors, but you could get away with ivy type plants and fern type plants and mushrooms and
Yeah, mostly
I
that
mean,
kind of.
basically anything that would grow in the shade. You can kind of cheat that for a cave.
Yeah, besides, you have to keep in mind it's an alien planet, so
Mm-hmm. This is
I
true.
can
Did you just grab those
easily
out of,
invent.
Did you just grab those out of Max's?
Yeah, they're like the primitives,
Yep.
the ones that come with Max.
Yep.
So it was for me to see the color in there, to see mostly how it will work, because I want to form with that some kind of path going into the rooms. It wouldn't be as big as that. Different plants, like I don't know the actual word, when you have dirt, you have like a pot, let's say. I don't
Oh,
know.
potted.
Like a
potted
garden.
plants,
Yeah, so that kind of variety, but all in one place, like small gardens, let's say.
yeah. Gotcha. Dude, come on, guys.
Um,
Golf clap for Sergio. That is a
Yeah, no, that's
phenomenal
awesome.
amount of work.
Oh yeah, heck yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool.
yeah,
I feel so
over
lazy.
here. Over here you have these bases, which. Hold on. Hello.
What?
I haven't put them in every single one because these bases I haven't put them yet in all of them until I do the low poly, but I'm trying to keep the same shapes I sorry I use for the portal.
Hmm.
So which already is low poly, I think.
Man, look at all those polys.
Yep.
Do you know what those things are, or are they just designs? They didn't look like pillars. That
In the
Not,
The
not,
thing you were
not
just
the
at.
portals,
These
but the
ones?
similar things. Are those actually holding up those other pieces? It's hard.
oh, they are
Yeah,
pillars.
looks like they
They're
are.
part of
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, okay.
yeah, the idea is they are holding on this, and these are straight, but I think I'm going to do the same process, or just grab the other one and
Pull those
make
into
it straight.
ZBrush and make them all pretty.
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah, I wasn't sure about this part, the part that actually holds the bridge, let's say. I think I'm going to leave them like this and maybe add some texture, but I don't really want to play in ZBrush with that because I really like the shape. And I tried to actually make an organic one, but didn't work.
Didn't care for it as much. That's all right. I think it's a nice.
Yeah.
I think it's a nice juxtaposition between the really organic stuff. It's nice to have some
Right.
less organic shapes in there. I think that's nice. Dude, this
Yeah,
lobby.
you
looks
have some
phenomenal.
benches here to. Thanks.
Maybe we should make the whole
There are
game
some
inside the
benches in
lobby.
here, so
Maybe we should all just quit showing up, and Sergio
You-
should just make a game.
We just get nothing to code the make.
Come on,
game.
you didn't
Yeah,
tell me
just,
to go
just like
crazy.
call me when you have problems. And I'll be able to tell you that I can't help you.
Yeah, these ones, the chains I added because I didn't really buy this entire structure hanging just from the wall and from here, so I added this, but
Well, I mean, even aside from what would practically work, chains and vines just look good in game. They just add interest.
yep. Yeah, these ones I'm going to actually put them again in ZBrush to make them look more like stone, like carved stone or something like that.
Oh, dude, I
But-
saw this when you had it. The part you loaded up that was just blocked out, and I was pretty excited.
Yeah.
It was like there's potential there. The design in terms of how it reads was pretty good, and I was pretty excited. But man, you hit it out of the park. This is awesome.
Are you gonna have a crystal in the between the statue's hands, or is it just gonna have be a,
Yep, that was the idea.
yeah, cool.
Why the position of the
Yeah.
hands is
Right.
like this.
Are you going to do a crystal like the stuff in the
As
center,
a
or are you just
crystal
going to do
floating
energy?
here.
Oh, that'll be awesome.
I was going to do a crystal, but I was still debating if just making something just like this, like a chunk of crystal, or a crystal with a shape, with a specific shape. In fact, I I was actually thinking about replacing this core because I remember in the old videos you were talking about uh, holograms.
Uh-huh.
Like instead of status, they had holograms, and I was if we made an actual design for Cincha, that would be a cool place to put it.
Yeah, I mean it's not that they can't have statues as well. It was just like
I mean, you have status here too, but
right. Oh, I
I-
thought you were saying like get instead of making those statues, turn those into holograms. You were saying something else?
I
oh
li-
no, I meant
I like the
like
idea.
replacing this. Let me.
I like the idea of having holograms somewhere in the game. I don't like it for the lobby because
Oh,
a ton of time is going to be spent there, and I would want the hologram to be
yeah,
more of a reveal somewhere in the game,
yeah,
like a very specific spot that it gets revealed. Here, I just want it to be huge,
yeah. That's true.
huge and epic, like it is, because
That is pretty epic.
I mean, when you think about Nelson, when we were running tests and we had Nelson's two little square rooms with doors, and the next time we have a test and they're going to drop into this, man, jaws are going to hit.
Yeah,
the
I don't
floor.
know. I don't know how much they are going to be able to look up, but
That'll
we'll have to-
that'll depend a little bit on how we design that third-person controller. But I mean, we were able to look around in those tests pretty well. You couldn't get a high angle up, but if you were backed off, like you wouldn't be able to look right up over your head. But this is big enough that on one side of the room you could look up at a pretty steep angle to the other side of the room because it's so big.
yeah,
Yeah, you would have a view like that or a little better.
Well, and I'm imagining that you can bring the camera back more, so the farther back
Yeah,
you are.
And again, that's going to depend a little bit on what Nelson programs. But hey, we certainly have some. I mean, we can lean on him a little bit and be like, hey, we need the camera to be able to do this because it looks cool, dude. We got to do it. But yeah, those man, Sergio, I'm not kidding. Out of the park. If I followed baseball, I would start calling you some home run hitter name, but I don't follow baseball.
Out of the park, around the world, and back in the
yeah. Then
Well, I mean, all I'm thinking
Yeah,
is
here,
he was
the-
just telling me about his week and all the stuff he had to redo for that comic, and then he shows up with this. I am so lazy.
yeah. No, you have to understand. Regarding the course, I try to. This is going to sound kind of egocentric, but I know I have talent. I don't get the chance to exploit it.
Well, you do now.
That was that was one of the main reasons why I joined the course, because yeah, I have different works, but I'm not really doing what I like, which is this. So
Dude, you keep this up. Epic's gonna
regarding the
call.
course, I try to.
You keep. I'm not kidding. You keep working like this, you're gonna get a call from Epic or Blizzard. Don't think they don't check this stuff out. And that's just,
Yeah,
I mean,
mostly
that's a phenomenal
I
amount
try
of work.
to.
It's the same thing with Richard and Wolf,
Yeah.
just in different areas with the writing, with the concept art. Don't think people aren't looking at this stuff. They do check it out in big companies, and someday they're going to see something, and people are going to get a call. It happens.
Um,
Everybody's like, I don't know what to say to any of that now. Okay.
I would be
yeah.
that kind of call.
Well, have any of you guys seen or heard of Life of Pi, the movie?
Yeah,
No.
I saw it.
Yep.
I saw it and I heard of it.
When you watch the credits, look at the visual effects technical director, and that is Steve Twist. Name sound familiar?
Yeah.
Yeah. He learned here, and then he taught here with Houdini, and now
Right.
he's a technical director in visual effects.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That people are watching this that you never know are here. I didn't used to believe that
Cool.
until Epic called me. So yeah, I mean, if you're like, this is what I love, man, keep tearing it up like this, because people will notice.
Could you guys hear that the phone was ringing on my?
I heard a little bit of background noise. I did not recognize it
No,
as a phone.
yeah. Okay. I just
Yeah.
thought, what great timing. Epic. Well, yeah, I guess I could.
See that? You should have been like, hello? Oh, you're Epic?
Epic?
That's awesome. You know, we were just talking about
Epic?
you.
Yeah.
No, really,
then-
dude. I mean, I realize some of this stuff is placeholder. The rest is all high poly. There's a lot of work to do yet. But the design language is beautiful, and I'm amazed at the amount of work you have done. This just looks fantastic.
Thanks.
I agree.
Yeah,
wholeheartedly.
Even the stones in the center look like
Thank
an
you, guys.
asteroid belt. It just looks, it's just incredibly well done. The details of the design language are very good. That is awesome. I am so excited. I cannot wait to dump this on Nelson. Because he's off recording, so he's not watching these. He has no idea what's coming.
You did tell me to go crazy.
I did, and I am going to continue to tell you that.
Are you going to tell the rest of us to go crazy too?
Yes, all of you go completely crazy, mindlessly, numbingly crazy.
Okay.
You're gonna get a bunch of.
I have the feeling I'm
space
going to
bears
regret
from
that
me.
at some point. But
You're gonna end up getting a bunch of space bears from me. if you
yep, there's going to be
tell me
space
that.
bears and sand penguins, and I'm going to like, well, I told them. Well,
Yeah, well, you did say.
I'll just do what I always do around here. They'll look at me and go, really? And I'll go, what? All right, is this one of our characters?
This one was. I thought of this one for the pilot, but I'm not entirely sure about the mouth.
Which pilot? The brother or the
It will
early pilot
be
that looks
Daniel's brother.
brother or the mentor?
No, the brother.
Okay.
The brother. The first one on Elythia, let's say.
Cool.
But
He looks too old to me.
He
yeah,
does.
When I saw him, I
That's-
thought of the pilot that raised Danielle.
Huh. That could be.
The older guy that looked after her and taught her how to get by. That's who I saw when I looked at it. Her brother in my mind looks younger.
Hmm.
You know how a lot of times they do a character who's got that kind of like
Oh shoot! Sorry guys, 1 second.
no problem. That kind of boyish or girlish good looks, but then they have like a scar or something that says they're not just naive. That's how I see the brother. Young and boyish good looks, but maybe a scar or a little beat up to show that he's still tough.
But like a Disney character with a scar, though.
Yeah.
You
But I mean,
did
But
say
I
it.
mean, yeah, like that. You know, it's this guy looks a little more grizzled to me,
Right.
like he's in his 40s or 50s.
Yeah.
And to me that says what was
Yeah,
the
but
name,
it
what was the
could be.
name of the pilot, Richard? That kind of mentored Danielle.
That was.
Come on, dude, it's your story. That should wrap
Yeah,
right off the
yeah.
head.
It should.
You are busted.
Let me just double check. I have to double check notes a lot.
Yeah,
Part of them might be because I'm writing like 6 other stories.
well, and
really have
and
to
you're getting
focus on
crap
one.
from a guy who has the memory of a goldfish, so I really don't have a leg to stand on. So.
Come on. Not all goldfish have that bad a memory.
That's true. Some of them have better memories than I do.
Yeah, come on. Let's be fair.
Yeah, you're right.
So-
I
Right.
shouldn't racially slur them.
You shouldn't stereotype.
Yes. I do really like that style, though. I love that rough sketch style. Oh, which reminds me, when we're talking about Super Secret Project Zero, that this stuff is for, that's not on any recording ever except this moment right here. You are doing that. Are you doing that at 72 DPI, or are you doing it at a higher DPI? 200 will
these
do. 200
are
will do.
200 dpi.
All right.
You,
Perfect.
you should do it at 300.
For print,
It's
normally I
not-
work at
it's not
300,
necessarily
but
likely that will ever actually see print, and above,
But just in case.
and above 150, actually, you can get away with Photoshop. I can do some stuff to make that okay. So if he's at 200,
yeah. Besides, the size is A4, so
yeah. So if we up it and pull it down, yeah, it'll be fine.
There it is. Alex Carter.
Yes, Alex Carter. That looks like Alex Carter to me.
I agree. Yep.
He's got that tough, mentorish look. I expect Danielle's brother to look a little younger. To have that kind of how do I want to put it?
Disney-esque look.
I don't want to say Disney-esque, but Wolf is getting across the general idea that that adventurous. The world still seems impossibly big and amazing look, but just enough rough on him to show that he's not just an 18-year-old kid off the school bus, that he's seen some life. Does that make sense?
Yep. Yeah, like he was 20 when he made first contact with the Alethians, and then let's see.
Yes, that is getting closer.
But that's a little young still,
That,
isn't it?
that's a little, but that boyish,
Yeah,
with that
it's
boyish
too young,
looks. But yeah, that's. I think you're latching on to what I'm saying. That he needs to be a little rougher, but not so grizzled looking like the other
Yeah.
guy does. And yeah,
Yeah.
nice. We're all on the same page. Yay!
Yeah.
Except
And,
Wolf.
yeah, when-
Wolf is always a troublemaker.
When he ends up getting shot, he's 29 when that happens.
Yeah,
he didn't
so
even
he
quite
never
make it to
gets
30.
very old.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, figuring out where he would have looked like right about then, there is a point in the storyline that when we were going with the idea that they have those sort of holograms to commemorate their really famous citizens and noteworthy people and stuff like that, that I was thinking her brother would be the only human that has one of those images of himself in that city or wherever that ends up being.
Yeah, because he dies protecting Cincha, right?
Yeah.
So he would act. I mean, yeah, he would be revered by them. This alien life form that gave his life to protect her. He would be huge. He'd be a rock star.
Yeah.
And conversely, it would make all the other lame humans look that much more lame. Well, no, I mean, really. I can't remember what movie it was. It might have been a Star Trek or something, but they talked about humanity's ability to rise to such high heights when things were darkest, which made it so much more confusing to them that when it wasn't like that, they could sink to such depths.
Oh gosh.
You know
That
what
might
I'm
have been.
talking about, don't you?
Yeah, yeah. You're at your best when things are at their worst.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah. What
That
was
almost
that?
sounds Babylon 5-ish.
No, because I hated Babylon 5. It's
Yeah.
You reminded me of Constantine.
Yeah,
But
but that's
at the
not
end-
where that line is from.
And
You know, I know,
I know
but
where you're grabbing it.
it's the concept.
But yeah, Constantine.
I think there's a lot of different examples where a similar line is used.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Richard just quoted it, so I know he's seen the same movie, and now it's really bugged.
No, I think I have as well. It's probably a Star Trek. Maybe it was Contact. I don't. Anyway.
And here I'm trying to erase a spot on my screen.
Oh, jeez. Stop it.
That's not me.
Wow,
Sergio.
wow. Hey, Richard, how
So,
That's terrible.
you called it, and it is. Now that I see it, it is the movie I was thinking. Shall we take a trip down obscurity lane?
Was it Starman?
Starman, 1984. Nice
Oh,
call.
Starman. Yeah.
Green means go, red means stop, yellow means go very fast.
I am
Yep.
impressed. But yeah, definitely that looks like the Mentor, and actually I really like that look for the Mentor. I don't think I'd want to change that. He's got
I agree,
He's got
yeah.
a very stern mentorish look. That one should get past to Wolf. Except cut out the little bit down at the bottom corner.
You know, I kind of like that for Danielle.
What?
It's a different way than the first one.
Really?
Going with
Really?
the-
Are you going to be like that? Really?
Well, you said he was a troublemaker.
I did. I did ask for it.
You did say.
I suppose we could write the story with some gender identity issues.
It could just be reverse Dr. Girlfriend, where you have like a big beefy guy that talks in a really high womanly voice.
Dr. Girlfriend. Nick, I love you because Dr. Girlfriend is one of my favorite characters ever.
It's a great show.
What? I just have a very deep voice.
Yeah, exactly.
The only thing I like better than her is when, and now I can't even think of his name because, reasons. The henchman. When he's in the car and he put on his seatbelt and he can't get it undone and he dies.
24.
Yeah, that's my
I think it's 24.
Dude!
Or is it?
dude. Why'd
21.
you put your seatbelt on? I don't know.
Spoiler alert.
I do like the Mysterio episodes too, or whatever his name is.
Adventure Brothers is so awesome.
Yeah.
Sergio, did you make those alterations to the Danielle one?
There were
Oh no, I forgot.
alterations.
Yeah.
Wolf, are you
flip
doing
the
things
thing-
behind my back?
To flip the thing on the
On the neck.
soul stone and
gotcha.
to lessen that one shadow.
I actually forgot.
Alright.
I have to do those.
Alright.
Way to make him feel inadequate, Wolf. Good job.
Yeah, he does all that work.
But no, phenomenal work. I am incredibly happy with the lobby base. I cannot wait to see that in low poly and get it textured up. And I'm just going to drop it like a bomb on Nelson. Because he never watches this, and I can say that over and over and over. He'll still never see it coming.
I was actually thinking, as far as the trees and stuff like that, we can't do it yet, but have you ever heard of a utility called Speed Tree?
Oh, yeah. Ships with you,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah,
And Unreal now.
Well, apparently they are setting it up to ship with Unity 5.
Really?
Yeah. And I got a chance to meet with a couple.
That is, in Unity, I hope you're listening if Unity 5 ever actually arrives.
Yes, there is that. But yeah, I had a chance to sit down with a couple of the folks that work with that company. And I had mentioned this project and the fact that it takes place on an alien world. And he's like, yeah, a lot of people don't realize that this can deal with vegetation that you would never find on Earth. It all depends on the values that you plug in. And he showed some examples of just creating crazy vegetation. And I was like, oh, that's wicked. I really can't wait for Unity 5 to show up so that they can see this.
Yeah, I've played with it before and made alien trees with Speed Tree. I mean, you do have to change a lot more than you would with a regular tree. Like, you have to make your own, the one I was using, I had to make my own, leaf textures and that kind of thing, just so it didn't look like a human tree, but yeah, you can definitely make alien-looking trees with it.
Sweet.
And Nick, you remember what you did, and Richard, you remember what he did? Yes.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, good. I'll accept that somewhat obsequious answer, but okay.
It would take me a while to remember the user interface because I was teaching myself that for a project I did 2 years ago now.
That's all right. We'll take it. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that because that one alien tree we did, I modeled by hand for Wolf, and I mean, really, that one wasn't too bad because it was just giant leaves. But if it were tiny leaves, it would suck. It would suck because I have ADD and I can't work on one thing that long. That's why I was so happy when Wolf did those concepts, and I was like, oh, look at those giant leaves. I can actually do that without going, oh, squirrel. But no, that's exciting. Speed Tree is on the list of Unity things that I'm like, come on, get with the program. Because everybody else does it. So if they're doing that, that's awesome.
Yep.
Now
Yeah,
they
the only
just have
downside
to
is
actually ship Unity 5 Unity.
yeah, that's
Remember
the only
when you
downside.
said it would be last summer?
Oh, I remember when they said the whole user interface thing was going to be last summer, and then
But at least that actually came out.
yeah, well, sort of, still beta, which is a pain in the butt because all the stuff that I make right now, I can't publish a web build that other people can look at.
Why not?
I don't know. For some reason, they have some kind of restriction on it, and every time I load up the web build page, it has this great big thing of red text saying, "Hey, this is only going to work on your computer."
Really? I'll have to ask Nelson
Yeah.
about that because we did that whole course, but I never thought to ask him if he could build it out.
Yeah, I
But
don't know.
he had
It's-
no, because he published it to his phone.
Okay.
I was
Well,
looking at it
I
on
guess.
his phone, so
Well, yeah. Like if you set up an actual build, like for PC or Mac or phone or whatever, that'll work. It's the web build specifically where it kind of has that restriction and won't let it run on something else. So basically, your local computer could run the web build, but if somebody else, like if you load that HTML file and all that kind of stuff up to Dropbox, if somebody else tries to access it, then apparently it won't work.
oh,
So
that's bizarre.
yeah. And no, I think it only happens. They only have that for beta. So my guess is it's probably to keep people from publishing stuff using a beta version of the program and then running into all kinds of problems because it's beta. But I really wish they would get it done, get the full release out for 4.6 so that we can, I don't have that restriction.
Indeed. Wow, that's
Did
weird.
you guys hear Epic calling again?
I did.
I'm
I
just
did
gonna
hear
let him.
Epic calling again.
I'm just gonna let him sit and stew
Let
for
him
a
stew.
little
That's
while.
right. Yeah, take a strong position
Right.
with
Yeah.
them. All right, guys. Everybody hold their breath. All right, everybody let a breath out. Are we ready? Wolf, are you ready, sir?
Yes, I
Are you
am.
ready to show me the magic? Is it magic?
I'll show you something. I don't know if it's magic.
Come on. Show me the magic. Here it comes. Make it rain, buddy. Make it rain.
Nope.
You are there.
All right. So I added. I drew another character. Or I kind of changed his body and stuff. So he would not be the warrior's buffed out body, but he's still athletic, but in a thinner body, which I thought that would work better for these magic user guys.
Well, I don't know where the natural assumption that magic users are. Okay, I can't even say that with a straight face. You're right.
You never know. They could be getting like ripped at the gym while they're like pondering deep thoughts about their spells.
Right.
Well,
The next time I see Dragon Age, I'm going to be like, I wonder if he goes to curves.
Okay, I'm sorry. I can't picture Gandalf going to the gym. It just doesn't work.
Maybe they're spending their time like alchemically creating steroids for themselves, and that's how they're getting ripped.
Well, I mean,
Way more plausible.
this guy's still in really good shape. He's just not buffed
Yeah,
out.
he's
He doesn't
he's
have
not
the
a monster.
he doesn't have the head bridges things, plates, whatever they are. Natural head
But-
armor.
No, yes, I digress and I give you a hard time, but I absolutely agree that
Yeah.
we don't want our magicians looking like tanks.
I think I made his arms a little too big, but that's all right. So there's these ones, and then I was trying some other stuff because you guys
And-
weren't liking this little armor thing here, at least when it was smaller. I think you liked it more when it was bigger like that. So I tried to do it.
And just to make things a little bit easier for our viewing audience, we did have a
Zoom in.
meeting last week,
Oh.
but it was not recorded, due to some other circumstances. So Wolf is trying desperately to remember what he's already shown us and what he hasn't. So bear with us.
So I tried doing the, you know, it's basically this little ring, but in this one I've used these kind of strip things which I already have established, and then I tried to do one without, and then tried to do one with these just bigger, and so I would like to know what you guys think about all that and this.
Okay, I like the arm bands versus the plate. I think deciding whether I like the double bands or the single band would depend on what the actual character looked like modeled. I'm not sure.
To be clear, like this is like an added like thing on top of this, so it's like it is one piece. It's not like two separate bands.
Yeah, it's just ridged rather than single.
Right.
And I don't know. Just looking at, I like them both, so I think I would want to see them on an actual 3D setting. My inkling is I will like the ridged ones better, but I don't want to swear to that.
Yeah, the one thing that I noticed is that they kind of match up with these right here, and I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, or if it just is.
Well, and that's something I looked at and thought, in 2D, it almost looks like they're blending, but in 3D you would get a lot of separation.
Right.
Also, when I look at the guys in gray on the lower half, their
over here,
their ankle and forearm armor, I like that style. I would like to see that blended with one of the last four.
Oh, you bastard.
Well, the bright side is really, come on, you can cut that out and paste it.
No, I can't really. I'd have to do it, but it's not that. It's just I'm very happy with how all that looks. But
I like the ridges on the last four, and the spikes on the legs.
Yep.
But the actual just straight lines, I like that kind of pieced together look better.
All right.
In fact, it's one of my favorite things.
This element.
Yes. But
What
I
about
just run these. I mean, at the end of the day, these design concepts are up to you guys.
What, like, I mean, still, what do you think of I mean, because it's like it already has a home right here. Yeah. So
I really like the green guys. I really like most of the concepts. I would like to see what some of the leg and forearm pieces look like melded into that. I also do like that kind of gladiator layered look on the waist piece.
Here.
Yeah. Any one of those three, I kind of like that, just that waist piece. And I'm wondering what it would look like blending those together.
Just taking those elements and
putting them into, yeah.
Huh.
It might look like a mess. I don't know, but
right.
I like those.
It might look cool. It's kind of, which that works, and that's perfectly legitimate thing to want to see. It's also flying in the face of what I'm trying to do is make guys that look very different. It's like, okay, this will read as something else than this.
Yeah, and that's true.
but
But it's
like I
it's
don't
my job to
I
mess with you and throw
Right.
ideas your way, and then make you fix them later. You know?
right, because I definitely I want the um, this warrior guy to you look at this, you see warrior, you look at this, you'll think mage or something, and you can see that right away. The more that they have similar elements in between them, I think the more it's going to be difficult to just on a glance see what they are. I also don't necessarily want to take like all the cool elements and put it into one and then have like all the junk elements for everybody else. Not that that's necessarily going to be what happens, but
Well, let's just make sure that no one plays the mage, because no one knows the mage is. I mean, that's what we're going for, right?
But I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, maybe really look at it from the opposite way, and what are one or two small elements from the warrior that you could pull to the mage to give some continuity. I mean, it could be something as simple as the armbands, but just something that says we're part of the same group, even if we don't look exactly the same.
yeah. So you'd rather have these armbands than these cool-looking things? You either have these
Well, if you're gonna
lame,
put it that
terrible,
way,
nasty, gross-looking. No. All right.
and like I said, at the end of the day, this is your guys' deal. I'm just here to help direct the class. I am not the final design decision. And so when this comes out, I want you guys to go, yeah, these were our decisions, and it's the way we wanted it to be.
Sergio, what do you think?
I like the arm and what do you call the ones on the leg?
What's that?
The bracers and yep,
These ones.
yeah, those ones.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, I think I mean I will put them in the warrior too, but I like them in either.
Mm-hmm.
For those three you have there, I like the last one the best. I don't know, maybe it's because of the breaks that the skin gives.
Yeah. Yeah, it's also you gotta imagine as well that these can be any assortment of colors, so that you can do breaks other ways as well.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Anytime
Yeah,
you're
mostly-
dealing with something protective like armor and stuff like that, it really confuses me when they have areas that aren't protected at all.
Well, yeah, but it's like they have the primary the primary things.
The more sensitive places.
Yeah, I mean it's like I mean right here it's like it can be more beneficial to just be able to bend well, and so it's like normally, I mean, if I guess it depends on what you're fighting against, but a lot of strikes are gonna, like melee strikes or something, are gonna be coming down. So instead of, you know, and if they're coming straight out, it's probably easier to block, especially if you had a shield or something. So I mean, you know, it also depends. You got to think what is the climate as well. I mean, it's obviously in a game you're going to have various people, various characters who are dressed in ways that don't make sense in in one environment. It's going to be very different things. But I mean, just think about if it was very hot out, it, having skin that's breathing and getting wind and stuff could help you from overheating and allow you to do actually better. This is also a magic guy, so he could do like magical shields and stuff as well. But
Also, being a mage normally puts you out of the melee.
Right.
Normally, I mean,
Right.
it's the ideal place to be is far away from the actual fight.
Right.
But that depends actually on the skills, which I don't know which ones they have.
Right. Well, I mean, it doesn't mean that a melee guy doesn't want to run up and hit you, even if you're back. But
No, of course. But
yeah. But I mean, there's reasons for that. I mean, look at the movie Troy, and look at their armor there, and it's just and it makes sense in certain fighting situations with how they fought back then. Maybe makes less sense against bullets, but like I said, it's also a magic guy, so this is more just things like that. Can be a lot to just look cool, and really maybe he could be wearing normal clothes and or just whatchamacallit,
Or maybe
loincloth thing, and still be able to use magical shielding and stuff. So.
Sorry,
Or it could be something as simple as, like, in the past, there was some problem with putting armor over, like, the stomach area because some evil mage came up with a spell that would just, like, lock all of your armor together so you couldn't move. So, like, the mages just wouldn't wear all the armor so they could move around to cast their spells or whatever.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
I think a lot of it is climate. I mean, it's like if you're fighting, where there's snow, versus if you're fighting in a desert or something. This is going to make more sense because you're really if you're not passed out from heat, that's going to help you more than having some leather in some of these places. So I mean, it's just like really the most important thing probably is the arm guards for fighting. And it's important to have stuff up here so when you're being slashed down at. But you can also kind of hunch in your body and make these kind of this kind of armor go a long way, longer than what it might appear.
Besides, at the
Especially
end
with
of the
shield.
day, the end of the day, it's actually an artistic decision.
Yeah.
But yeah, I get what Richard says. I hate the typical fantasy, medieval fantasy armor, especially for the women, which is, yeah.
Right. Well, see, I mean that. Yeah.
But-
Now that doesn't make any sense because I mean it's just like it's such a it's just a small area for it's just like you don't need armor just right there. It's like it's so unlikely. But these places actually serve purposes that it actually it actually makes sense. And people used to fight. You look at. I mean, just look at the movie Troy. It's like some of the there's a lot of exposed skin. But like that's to say, like you would hold your shield so you could protect this area while this area is more protected and just things like that. But it's also mobility of not having and heat. Okay, what do you guys think about this?
I like the I like both the second and the third shoulders, the shoulder pads. I like both the
This one?
yeah, that one and the one
This one?
yeah, I like
Yeah.
both the shoulders.
Uh-huh.
Um, Mostly because we were first you made it longer and I really like those and I like them longer, even longer too.
Uh-huh.
Um, I will say maybe take the lower point a bit out of the arm,
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah,
rounded.
but
so
that's pretty
they're more
much it.
rounded. Yeah.
Huh?
So they're more rounded down there.
Yeah, so it will break, make a different plane, but I really like those. As far as the arms, the bands, um, I do think I will have to see how they fit in the model
Uh-huh.
before I can say anything because I design wise I like both, but I don't know how they will look once they're in 3D.
Yeah,
But
I think when I actually, because when we get this to a place where everybody likes it, I want to draw in a 3/4 view, do a nicer drawing like I did with the other ones and shading and rendered out. So in that, I should be able to communicate what's going on here more, so you can get more of an idea. Assuming that I stay with this and I don't just go to that, but look how nice it looks, like that. No, but what about these things? Are you not crazy about these line things? Because I really like these line things.
I like the style. This is more for like a scout type character, yeah?
Yes,
Okay.
it's a lighter scout, like a DP type guy, scout, someone who maybe can give a lot of damage, but can't take it as much as.
Now, does that ribbing is meant to sort of extend outward a little bit from the main structure of the boot, or
This stuff?
yeah,
Yeah, it sticks out. It's
by like just a bump, not
yeah,
necessarily a
it's
spike?
more like a bump, the same
Okay,
with up here. So
cool.
it's like extra strong material, but it's also a style thing. I like how it moves around. Like I like I think it just gives it a lot more style. It makes it look a little bit more, almost a little bit more futuristic in a way to
A
me.
little more refined, yeah.
But there's almost like a futuristic thing that I think it works with alien thing. It's like it's unnecessary, but it's a detail. I don't know.
Yeah, it looks good to me, I think.
What about these guys?
That's your cue.
That's your cue. Richard, Nick.
The third one is my personal favorite.
Yeah, third and fourth ones, I think, on that line, like for the soldier and the mage. Yeah. No, like the third one, out of all of them, the third one, and then the first of the soldier ones. Yeah.
Oh, this one.
Yeah. Because even though there's that tangent between like the chest and the arms,
Mhm.
I think I'm probably gonna like that little bit of texture just because it matches the texture on everything else on the armor.
Right. Now, do you think that do you like it like this, or do you think that it would be better with these ones?
I don't know. I'd have to see it.
I think as far as like the mage type classes are concerned, I like that sort of that kind of assembled look that it has. So maybe that's an aesthetic that that particular class prefers.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's a functional thing. Maybe all that stuff, you know, if they're using magic all the time, maybe that's part of what makes it work.
Oh yeah, like it magically comes together and fits in these
Yeah.
little pieces.
Or if they're going to throw a fireball or something, maybe that sort of surges from that gauntlet and
Yeah.
goes forth onto the hand, and they toss it at some poor sod, something like that.
Yeah. All right, and I did these ones.
Well, I think I like the very last one on the bottom of the tattoo-looking ones the best.
Tattoo. They're actually, it's actually armor that's it kind of comes out from where it's just the webbing comes out. from
Okay. Yeah, for a second, like when I zoomed out, I'm just like, man, that guy has some serious ink.
that.
Yeah, I really liked the last one, but then something was like, what does that remind me of? And if it's part of his uniform, that's fine. But at first, I thought it was like skin markings too, and it
Huh.
reminded me of Alien Nation.
Huh. Yeah.
Oh,
No,
God.
this is
Yeah, that's
this
way
is
back.
this is this armor stuff, and it's just kind of like over other armor pieces, and then it kind of trails off in webbing after the plate armor thing.
I like those the last two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I do
number
like
4 along the
the-
top too. Like
Huh?
I kind of like
Yeah.
number 4 along the top too.
This guy.
Yeah, I like those two, but I feel like the overall design is maybe too human.
Maybe it's
Uh,
the pockets.
Maybe it's the
Yeah.
pockets.
Yeah.
Maybe just the pockets. But I figured, it's like they're advanced enough that they could have pockets instead of like purses, like
Yeah,
coin
that's true.
purses.
Maybe
Oh, yeah,
pockets
maybe
just aren't in
it's
style. Like that could be why they don't use them. They're just like not fashionable at all. So they're just like, no, pockets, they're passe.
Yeah, I mean, I could get rid of the pockets. I was also this little squirrely thing. I forgot to do one with. I was thinking that like one of the halves could be dark and the other half light. Or like or two different colors when they're actually colored.
Yeah, maybe instead of the pocket area, you could try doing like a mesh overlay where it's like, I don't know, ropes or chains, because you don't see that in a lot of human stuff, and it'd be something different.
Like a rope around the waist, or
No, like think like I don't know how to describe it, like a fishing net made of like armory strands or ropes or chains or something that hangs down like that jacket does over the other coat. So it's basically like thick, beefy chainmail instead of a coat.
oh, so this could be.
That could be made of like a rope or chain mesh kind of thing, so it'd be like armor that's like being padded by the stuff underneath it.
Well, I kind of like the idea of it being a coat. But yeah, either one of those could work.
don't get me wrong. The design I like. It was just for a second I kind of see them like too human, but the overall design is actually good.
Okay, thank you.
Maybe if you
Maybe make like ankle braces like that. Braces,
no,
whatever
that
they
could
are.
work, and I think it could work also what you were saying. I had to see it, but the with different values on each side.
With,
Uh,
with, with, with different what on each side?
Values.
values.
Oh yeah, right, for that. Yeah. No, I was just you don't. So you don't think I should add braces down here?
If you add them, I will add them maybe in the last two of those four. Mostly because those are the ones that had the
More
most
armor.
armor.
Yeah. But it's mostly it's more for show. But because I mean these are all different, like mage, and this is maybe the necromancer type guy, and over here it's maybe this is a more of a mage and this is more of a sorcerer or something. I don't know, or maybe just two different kinds of mages, or maybe just two different options for a mage. I don't know.
Maybe just a different style kind of thing. Yeah.
No.
The ones you showed first, I see them most like some kind of battle mesh,
Uh-huh. Yeah.
like a hybrid class.
Yeah.
And these ones, the other ones could be more like mage and necromancer or something like that. But yeah,
Something like that.
and I really like the last one.
Yeah, this could be more of like a healer class or something. And then more like a necromancer.
Steve?
You awake,
Sorry, I
Steve?
was muted.
That should go.
I'm trying.
How do you feel about the helmet? Because I like it, but I want your opinion on that.
I like the helmet. The actual body armor is almost starting to get a little too busy to me.
Hmm.
But the helmet,
Okay,
but the helmet itself, I'm okay with.
Maybe the same kind of thing, but less small stuff.
Yeah, I like the design. It's just it's an almost overwhelming amount of small detail.
Yeah, especially on the legs. I did those first, and then everything's a little bit bigger except for the leg. But I think like this, like right here, I really like this part in the thigh. So underneath that,
Yeah, I like that. It's
a good
the
size.
the webbing on the legs. Yeah, it's almost a little
Too
too
much.
much. And then
Yeah.
the chest plate around the ribs is a little too much for me. Like you can have that kind of detail up by the shoulders or down by the ribs, but together it's too much.
You mean? Are you specifically talking about these little hangy
No,
things at the end?
just that whole
It's
area
all-
of brown.
Yeah.
It's like either upper or lower, pick one. And
Do you like the?
I do like
do you like-
like that center blue piece. And I
Okay.
do like the helmet because to me that helmet kind of reflects the natural armor of the warrior.
Right.
And I like that tie-in. But I was trying hard not to talk and just let you guys decide.
Yeah. And
But
what
then
about the belt?
Sergio had to call me out.
What about the belt? Too busy, or would it work?
I don't mind the busyness, but I think I might thin it a bit.
Yeah.
If
When you
if
say
you took that exact design and just scrunched it down a bit so it's not quite as thick top to bottom.
Yeah,
So
it's
the-
almost
the-
pushing like corset size.
Yeah.
Like it's just too big.
so the whole belt should be.
Yeah, I don't mind the design in it, but I would just grab the
Huh.
whole thing and squish it a bit.
Because I was thinking of it as why it was that big as just an extra added armor thing, but yeah, it could.
Functionally, yeah, but I don't know. Aesthetically, I just
Yeah,
I want to
could
see a
squash it
little.
down.
Yeah, just I mean, not like like dress belt thickness, but I would squash it a bit.
So it's like this guy's wearing this leather thing. This it's like different pieces here, down here, and here, and then there's underneath here is actually a hard armor, and then this leather thing comes out a little bit here, and then a little hard armor here, a little hard armor here, spread out. And that's kind of his getup.
But yeah, I'm liking and I'm liking that there are bits and pieces throughout all of them that tie them together. That's making me
Yeah.
happy.
Do you like this whole thing? Whatever's going on here.
Yeah, actually, I do really like versus the first one in that row.
It's just
I do like that.
more cape-like.
Yeah, I like that more ceremonial dress-like.
Yeah, it adds a little more style. Plus, I mean, it's functional too. There's a reason like the people had these. It's to break the wind and also if you need to, you can use it kind of to sleep under. But especially considering that I made it like now I don't know if right here if this is being pinned up here or if there's actually a hole in this piece, but however it works, I like I also I like that it's not on both sides.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I basically see that as just having a hole for the arm underneath and it being a single piece, and it's just got a very nice dressy look to it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
good. But yeah, I mean, it also helps sell Magic user a little bit more.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like a well, you think of mages as kind of regal, wealthy, well-educated.
They don't have to swing swords.
Yeah, and
That's for other
that last design really kind of sells that. Either I can afford very nice pieces, or I'm from a wealthy family, and these kind of things are handed down. And I like the whole feel of that. So there you go. So
Yeah.
now Sergio can
Yeah.
stop calling me out.
Who maybe wealthy family who maybe took a dark turn. I don't know if we're still doing it, but it's like back in the day we were talking about how that could be like a forbidden art, the whole necromancer thing. So
Yeah.
Or some element of their magic that is forbidden. I don't know about the whole raising the dead thing, but
But
It
I
could be
mean,
because of their
even if you
So
have
the-
even if you have some whatever you decide that forbidden art is, selling that as a very wealthy family lineage works because it would take
Yeah,
a wealthy family lineage to hide that from the general public. Much like politicians today.
Yeah, who's to say arrogance and deceit are exclusively a human trait?
Yeah, I think part of the reason I made it busy because I wanted it to be like almost like it could survive without the plates underneath, like almost like if you hit like you hit something with a like a blunt object or something, it could actually protect. It's kind of thinking, but yeah, it would look better um, if it was. I think it's more similar to this right here. Um, I think it'd be definitely better to make it kind of match up because they're all kind of a lot of different sizes. But yeah, I can make it less busy. I mean, this is uh, I mean, it's based off of this, which Sergio really liked and wanted me to do something necromancer with, which I was kind of inspired when after I did. I was thinking maybe a necromancer too. So, but I remember Sergio really liked the idea,
Yeah.
so I kind of tried to. But I mean, this is also busy, so that's yeah. Oh, there you go. I don't know. Did I capture that with this or hold on. Was this good or is this too busy as well?
To me, that one's a little too busy as well. Like I like busy pieces, but I like it in spots
Yeah.
rather than the whole chest.
Like maybe something that you're meant to have your attention focused on whatever that particular piece is, that kind of thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
But what about you, Sergio?
Yeah, I like it both ways. Depends on how the rest of the character works. Normally, when you add a piece like that, it will grab a lot of attention.
Yeah.
So you have to consider where you put them. So, for example, if I were doing something like this, if I make a chess piece like that, maybe I will try to tone it down with the colors,
Right.
make it a bit more dull, and I wouldn't put so much detail on other places
Mm-hmm.
because if I'm doing that, I'm
Right.
using it as a centerpiece, like as the point of attention.
Uh-huh.
So, for example, I would use it in this case on the chest, but I wouldn't add that much detail on the other pieces.
Uh-huh. So you think that
It's
if there was less detail on all these other ones, this would work better as is?
it all depends on how you want to use it, but yeah, I would if I'm going to use that chest plate, I will tone down the details on other parts, not everywhere, but yeah, I will tone it down. In fact, um, if you can go back one uh,
But
to the first ones you showed, for example, if you see on the tree down, the first tree down.
this?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
on those three, if you look, you have not that much detail, and when you get to the bracers and
They stand out.
yeah, it's that kind of thought. It's the same that Steve was saying, but uh, maybe for how can I explain this? for example, if I'm going to use it as a chest plate, it will be I wouldn't put so much detail on everything else. Maybe holding up a rope, like having a rope underneath.
Uh-huh.
I don't know exactly how to explain it. Um, and I will tone down the colors a bit,
Yeah.
but
Well, yeah. I mean, these colors don't mean anything. I just want people to be able to see them.
yeah,
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of one of the reasons why this looks good is that it cuts down on the busyness, and it breaks that up.
yeah.
Um,
But
I
it all
th-
depends.
what?
Sorry, it all depends on the complete composition of the character. I I cannot really tell you do just a piece of the armor like this. I mean, it will have to have consistency throughout the character without breaking the design, and for that you have to add detail somewhere else.
Right. I don't
But
necessarily need to make the belt um, like this. Like that could be a different thing, which might help break it up. Um, also, I'm not really crazy about what's happening right here by the neck, like up there.
yeah,
That's.
but I mean, I like the chest plate.
Mhm.
I like. How can I explain? Um, I was. I wasn't expecting to. Uh, for. I mean, what? I wasn't trying to tell you to use it just as you had it. I mean, you can change it. Just follow the same language.
Yeah, and see
I don't know if
the
I'm.
kind of language that almost looks a little bony, like it's bones underneath.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm explaining myself correctly, but that's the general idea.
Yeah, right. No, I understand. You explain yourself correctly.
But it's. But
You're saying it doesn't have to be this on a mage. It's just like use that as an inspiration to build something.
yeah, that kind of general structure.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things where you'd want to use that like as the chest as the main area, but you'd want to use like tiny little bone accents like on a seam or something, or like a tiny area in the bracer, just so you tie the entire outfit together.
Yeah,
But you wouldn't want to use like the entire bracer as the same design. You just want like the edges of the bracer maybe to have the bony aspect.
Yeah, like just coming off here and not
Not-
actually on it there.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that way you have that design element tied into all the pieces like Sergi was talking about, but it's not so overpowering everywhere that it becomes
Right.
meaningless kind of thing.
Right. Yeah, it's good advice. I'll mess with that. And I guess here, basically the the pockets was the big thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's what most people didn't like.
I don't know if this is exactly reading, but there is a chest piece, and this part right here on both sides is like it is like attached to it. It's like a padding kind of thing, sort of like extra padding that kind of goes down, but it's I was thinking of a less hard substance, but just
Like maybe
kind of
leather or something.
yeah, maybe something more like that. maybe something a little thicker than leather. I don't know, but of course that'd be baked leather, not like a leather jacket. But yeah, I mean, because underneath that was this corset-esque thing is it leather, like but like a leather jacket. More like I would think bendable and stuff.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's what's going on there. I don't know if that came across, but
Yeah,
I think
like
that could look
I
neat.
like the chest piece. I like the part pulled in the center. I do not like the pockets.
Yeah,
The
I think if we
pockets
can find
just
something
scream
other than the
too
pockets
much
to put
20th
there,
century
it'll be
human.
yeah.
Right. Well, yeah. I mean, it's a difficult thing because I was considering that, but I was also considering that we want these to be high tech in their own right, or I mean, they're so it's like they could have pockets. It's not
Well,
like,
they could have a
but yeah,
pocket-like thing, but I would see it more as just almost hidden slit, or
yeah,
as a very stylish, like almost pouch-type pocket. Something that just takes
yeah.
that like 20th,
Fanny pack.
20th century
Yeah,
Levi
yeah, fanny
look
pack,
on it.
exactly. Or maybe it'd be something more like, those hand warmers you see like a quarterback use in
Right.
like American football, where it's like a tube that's just on their belt kind of thing, or like in back.
Yeah, just something to get away from that
Yeah.
that Levi's look.
Okay, so other than that, you guys like this? If it's without the pockets?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do like quite a bit of that.
So
Yeah, the
I mean,
design overall is a good design.
so I mean, it's like because I'm like I'm trying to decipher if this is something that it needs more work, it needs a little something extra, or if it's when these are at stages where I could start rendering them in a better drawing. And so is this one that like we're set on, or we're still thinking that it needs a little something that we're not sure,
Well,
as far as
as far as the overall form of that one, I like it. My only hang-up is the pockets.
okay.
And I would
It was
agree with
perfect.
that.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. And I know I need a lot of work on this. And then, so what about this? Is this something that people are like, this could be in our game, this would work, it's nice? Or is it something like it's in the right direction, but it needs a little this or that?
I really like the third one. If the cloak, I do like the split cloak in the back.
Uh-huh.
If the shoulder maybe had something, I don't know how to put it. That the shoulder on the cloak on one side had something just to give you a taste of that other richer cloak, just to share an element. If it draped over one shoulder, or had a cut for the spikes and draped over one shoulder.
Okay, so it comes out the front kind
Oh,
of
yeah.
thing, or?
Just to give something to blend that design element without making it look so rich and fancy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
Or utilitarian, but keeping that same sort of general form?
Yeah.
Okay.
You think it looks more rich and fancy to have this going right here?
No,
Like-
the mage cloak that's got the one side on the front, on the other set of drawings that we really liked. You know what I'm talking about?
This?
No,
Oh.
the bottom
The one below.
bottom row. Now
This one?
that piece that just goes over
Yeah.
the one shoulder.
Yeah.
Imagine not having the front bit, but having that shoulder piece with a
Right.
cut for the armor. Just
Right,
just,
no,
just
yeah.
to make it
Yeah.
asymmetrical.
That's
to
actually
tie it. I would kind of like to see that
Yeah, you could even take out the spikes in the
on
shoulder
that
that
side. Yeah,
you're
you could.
yeah that you're going to cover and leave them in the other side.
yeah. I could try it both ways. I mean, I could try. It could be.
I do like how deep that one dips, but I would like one side to do something to tie that aesthetic together a little bit. Not, it doesn't have to be anything exact. But
You can even
what
just add cords attaching the cloak to the shoulder guard almost, where it's just like that same draping line with the cords, so you wouldn't actually have to move the cloak. So you'd have like decorative braiding from the shoulder, like going across the shoulder pad from the spikes to the cloak kind of thing. I don't know if I'm describing that right.
You mean up? You mean like something?
No, it'd be just
Attached.
hanging. It'd be attached, but it'd be like hanging. It'd be draped like the fabric is.
You mean like another fabric on here?
yeah,
Like on
but
top of
he's
this?
talking more like
You know-
braided cord than.
Like, you see those like really fancy, ridiculous uniforms that have like braided cord go like to show rank or something. Maybe do something like that, going from the shoulder to the cloak kind of thing. So it's tying the shoulder armor to the cloak in a fancy way.
Yeah, so it's almost like another, like it's almost like putting a scarf on. It's another layer thing that you're talking about that
Another
attaches to
layer,
both.
Yeah.
Is that
Yeah, that
what
could
you mean?
work.
Is that what you mean, or not? That's not what you meant.
Let me find a reference.
Yeah. Well, Steve, what is it? Is this what is it about it not doing that? That
Basically, he wants the lines from that cloak to show up on the other cloak too, so you get some tied-in element. So whatever you're going to put on that shoulder needs to like drape over the shoulder slightly.
Yeah, it's not that I look at that and say, "Oh God, I hate that." I would just like to see an element of that other cloak.
when you say other cloak, you mean this cloak?
Yes,
Yeah.
I would really like to see an element of that one shoulder show up on that cloak too, as just kind of a generalized design aesthetic. And
Okay,
I
but
like
it-
everything about that, but I think that would add a bit to it.
But is it just because someone else's another character has that look, and you're trying to tie them both together, or do you think that makes this work better? As in,
Yes.
just like
My answer,
both.
This is
my answer is yes.
both.
Yeah, a little bit of both. I think the asymmetry of that will lend something to this character, and tie the design aesthetic across characters a little bit. Because then you've got in this character you've got the cloak design aesthetic that ties to that other character, plus you have elements of armor with the spike and the forearm pieces that tie to the heavier characters, and you get a tie across everything, and that makes it seem
Okay.
more societal. Nick, do I need to grab you for some reference, or are you just gonna send it to him? Or?
I'm just gonna have to send it to him. I can't find a reference for what I'm looking for, so I'm just gonna have to like sketch it.
All right.
What do you think about maybe making these points here bigger, like making that a little bigger, and this maybe it's a little bigger, something there? Or do you like it think it's at the perfect size?
I wouldn't want anything on the shoulders to be too much bigger. I don't think it would start to seem clumsy. I kind of like that small, quick look.
Yeah, that makes sense.
anything on the shoulders that got much bigger than that, I would want to be on some kind of like really heavy tank character.
Yeah. Now, except for this guy.
Yeah, but those aren't really up
Yeah.
on top of the shoulders. Those are out on the outside, so you can get away with that.
Yeah. So, are after I make that that change here, you think that you guys are happy with this?
Yeah, I really like the rest of that design quite a bit. I'm very pleased with that actually.
So this one now. I'm not sure what to do with this one. I've heard got some different things. So like you two of these seem about ready. There's just small little changes as far as what direction.
The scout type guy, really, I mean, in my mind, he is ready. And the only thing that's up for grab is once we actually get to sculpting, is deciding some of those little minor details, what we like better. But I don't think it's anything we have to approach in concept. I like the first one and the fourth one. And it's really just a matter of some of those ridges and stuff in detail, and some of the filigree, and that's going to depend entirely on the final sculpt.
Does anybody not like those two?
I like pretty much all of them because I really like the silhouette of it.
Uh-huh. Because I do want to any one of these ones that that everybody's really happy about. I really want to render it out a 3/4 view.
I would, if we're going for a 3/4 view render, I would personally really like to see a render of the first one of the scouts.
This one.
Because I think where it looks in that front view, where it looks like the armband and that are blending, I think that will really separate nicely when you go into a 3/4 view and look. I think it'll look very sharp.
But do you still you still want me to try and do these on?
I like those. At least, I mean, like the arms and the legs with the spikes on the scout. I don't mind the spikes. I like the spikes. Just the actual detail on the wrap on the arm. I wouldn't mind seeing it with that kind of squiggly. Well, the arm and the leg, but the squiggly versus the straight lines. But I'm not so attached to it that I'm going to nail you down to it. I would like you to take a moment to play with that and look at it.
Okay.
And then whichever way you decide, I'm okay with that. Does that make
It's
sense?
the same difficulties. Yeah. Can you hear me fine? Yeah. This is telling me there's difficulties.
Oh. Yeah, you're fine on my end.
All right. It's probably just a momentary thing. So like, are you saying I could keep this kind of stuff, but like have this stuff on the inner side, and keep these spikes, but have this stuff?
Yeah,
inside.
and like I said, I would like to see you just. I don't even know if you just want to use the line tool to cut it out and just paste it over and just look at it for a second. But I would like you to look at that, and then whichever one you look at, I'm not so strongly attached to it that I'm like, oh no, it's really got to be that way. But take a look at it, and whichever one you're like, nah, I think I like this better, run with that and do a render.
Yeah, I thought you meant you wanted me to lose the spike things and just go.
Yeah, no, I like the spikes, but
this.
I do like that kind of rocky textured look just to the part that attaches to the arm.
Yeah, it's neat. I'm wondering if it
And it,
will really go. Like the one thing that's cool about this is there's all of these lines. So you get the lines up here, you get the lines here, get these lines here, and so it all kind of ties in. I don't
agree.
like
I agree. It may
once
not work, and that's
once you do that, you only kind of have them in this area.
yeah, and that's why I'm saying, do me a favor, take
Yeah, all right.
5 minutes, take
Yeah,
a
I'll
look
look
at
at
it, and whichever
I
judgment
will.
you pass, I will accept.
Okay, but it's yeah, it sounds like any of these would do. So e- 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 even if I render this one, we end up using this one or that one, or something a little bit different. It's
Yeah,
still going to help because it's mostly the
yeah,
same.
it's so close that
Yeah.
render will work.
Yeah.
And I mean, at that point, you're down to such minor detail, it becomes notes for your 3D artist. You know, here's the overall design. Here's the note we were thinking, and I mean, you have thrown so much work at these that yeah, I think the first one of the scout, I like the third one on that guy, I like the other darker mage with the shoulder piece, and I think you've gotten there, man. I think you have done some spectacular work. I like him.
Agreed.
Yeah. And
I know-
this guy will be there eventually.
Yeah. But you were.
I know it's not what he's doing, but I keep thinking they're they're trying to hitch a ride.
I was actually thinking that if I wanted to do some kind of magic thing, I could put it
floating
kind of
above
up
there.
there.
Yeah.
But well,
That'd
be
plus
cool, yeah.
plus I thought it'd be cool to kind of I can show kind of the inner arm a little bit here and then kind of the outer end. So
That's
But,
true.
but now, thanks to Richard, we can't unsee that.
yeah, now it looks like it's. I kind of want to make this look, put the thumb out. I kind of I might have to do that.
Okay. And I actually took a picture of my sketch with my phone, so it's not the best quality, but I do have the sketch of the thingy that we were talking about before. The shoulder braid stuff.
Oh, okay. One more question, Steve. Do you think what do you think you're gonna like better
In terms of adding that
this
cloak bit?
keeping the spikes and having it go around the spikes, or losing the spikes on that
Yeah,
side and just having spikes on this side? And
I
cloak
am
on that?
not against Sergio's suggestion to lose the spikes, but personally, I think if the cloak were cut to sit
Yeah.
over them, I would like that better.
Okay. Fair enough. All right. We can look at.
All right, do I need to pull
Next
that, Nick,
thing.
or are you sending that to him? Talk to me.
I could send it to him, or you could just open it up real quick. It's open on my computer now.
All right, I am switching over to you.
Okay, so it is not the best sketch. Like, it's like 5 minutes, but
Yeah. No.
but like you got the spiky things like along here, and then you'd have like the braided cord going between the spikes and down the arm.
Wait. Which one are we looking at?
It would be the one
that would be versus the one where I said I wanted the cloak to go over the spikes.
Okay.
This
Okay.
is
So this
an
is the spike
alternate
guy.
suggestion. Yeah.
an alternate suggestion. So what you're
Okay.
doing is you're like creating like an attachment to the cloak where like
Right.
you have like a brooch on the front with with like this like cord stuff that goes down. Like you got like 4 or 5
like
cords that go between
ceremonial.
spikes down his arm, like a ceremonial thing.
Yeah.
So
Sorta-
it creates
sorta-
the same line as the other one without actually putting the cloak there.
Sort of like Worf with it. I mean, it's not the same thing, but Worf had that ceremonial.
But,
Yeah.
that metal wrap he had, kind of.
Yeah.
That same design aesthetic, yes.
Yeah, where it's a ceremonial thing that just goes over that shoulder pad instead of just carrying the cloak through the shoulder or removing the spikes.
What do you think about that, Steve? I mean, I can do both.
Yeah, I would like to see both because that's a pretty
Mm-hmm.
good idea. That could look pretty spectacular. And
All right.
I love
Well, I'll play
and
with
I
it.
love Worth, and you brought that up, so yeah.
Yeah,
Now I wanna
you
see
mentioned
it.
Star Trek, so you just sold it to Steve.
But all right, yeah, let's take a look at those for next week. The other designs I think are very solid.
We could name it the wharf. That piece.
Except I'm gonna spell it like
don't-
fishing wharf. All right.
And then you can make it out of fishing net, and it would make
that
sense.
should have gotten a bigger laugh, but okay.
I'm not a fisherman, so
Like wharf, like
I'm not aware.
WHARF instead of just WORF. Like a pier.
Yep.
Never mind.
Appears
Never mind.
named a wharf.
Yeah.
See, I don't know that, so that's why it's not funny
All right,
for
I'm
me.
sorry. All right, guys, we're at
That's
10 after 11 my time, and I have got to get on to some other things with Nelson.
Yeah.
Is there anything else we need to cover quick before I close out the recording?
There's one quick thing. I did upload a picture to Dropbox, to the old shared folder, if you want to take a quick look, Steve.
Alrighty, let me grab mine again.
That's the one.
There
Yep.
we go.
I managed to redo some of the work.
For throwing that together very quickly. Very nice, sir.
Cool. Yeah, I'm going to keep working on it, and there's a section below the barrel, that sort of angled section along the bottom of the rifle, that I was basically going to have the flashlight assembly and all that kind of stuff. That originally it was circular, that really wasn't working. So I'm basically going to cut that in as more of a square section,
Okay.
and I'll have the assembly inside there.
All right. On
So,
the
I'm
rifle,
hoping to-
on the rifle, design aesthetically, when you look at it at this three-quarter view, I like it. When I picture it from a side view, the main body of the rifle, all the way back to the stock, is a little too much of just a plain rectangle to me. I would like to
Yeah.
see some silhouette change. Cut
Okay.
into that. That way it doesn't just look like a block with a scope on it when people are running around.
Okay.
But other than that, I like the large side load cartridge. I like the aesthetics of the front of the rifle that match to the pistol you did. So the side silhouette is really the only thing to me that says I need some more detail.
Okay. You betcha. You'll have it.
Sexy. Anyone else?
You could probably change the silhouette. I agree with Steve, just by adding in some like venting along the top, just so you add ridges.
Yeah,
Yeah,
anything that just stops screaming rectangle to me.
Okay. Will do.
All right, guys, on that note, I am going to call the recording right here. To those of you watching, I hope instead of watching later, you will join us soon. And I will cut off the recording right now.